What's up guys, I'm Caddy here, bringing you the first battle of our Mega Scizor Volt Turning team. Now, you guys have had some really good suggestions of how to improve the team. First of all, I think Scizor and Washington have stayed the same. Chubbs, someone made a really good point that we need to make sure our EVs are even on this, because otherwise it's going to be really awkward, because our belly drum is going to go off, but unfortunately then our citrus berry will not then activate. So that's going to be really useful. big mistake if I'd have ended up playing with that. Stud and pillows have stayed the same. And what we've decided to do as well is there was a lot of you saying that Tornadus would work really well on this. So it's a little bit of a funny set. I've gone for a set with Hurricane and Focus Blast as the main attacks, just because it gives fairly neutral coverage and works really well. Hurricane, Okos, I think it's a mildly HP invested Mega Venusaurs from full, which is really good. Focus Blast, because obviously Tyrannitars and things like that do completely wall this otherwise. Knockoff, more of a utility move than anything, especially for Eviolites and things like that, and then obviously U-turn. Because with Assault Vest and Regenerator, we should be pretty bulky. And yeah, hopefully this guy is going to put some work in, because we're going to go for 88 HP in 88 in HP, 252 in special attack, and then 168 timid in speed, because we're just slightly pipping base 110s. So base 110 jollies, we should be outspeeding those. So you know, sort of Latias, Latios, and some megas as well. So I think it's a good speed tier to go for. And it just means we can invest a little bit more in bulk. So we're going to move straight on to the first battle, and I will see you guys there. Okay, so we're in a battle against Umberto Bossi? I don't know. So, looking at his team, let's see. I guess we need to first of all identify what causes trouble for Azumarill. First thing that does come to mind is the Ferrothorn. That's definitely going to have to go first. But then we do have Stud that can handle that, so that's not going to be too much of a problem. That Mega Lopunny could be a little bit of trouble. We do have Washington though, and also we got Rock, Paper, Scissors just there. So I think it's doable. We also have double Scarfers. While I don't think Magnezone outspeeds, I'm pretty confident that Landorus will. I mean, we're going to be 450 speed. Yeah, over 450 speed, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So in terms of lead, I'm kind of predicting that Garchomp, to be honest. So I'm almost tempted to lead with Washington, just because it handles this whole team relatively well. We can go out, we can Volt Switch out into Stud if that Ferrothorn comes out. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go here. So he goes out into the Latios to start with. That's not the best start, I must admit. What we might have to do is go out into Rock, Paper, Scissors, or take a hit from here, and that means we kind of need this though. This is the problem, because we know we outspeed with Tornadus, but I don't particularly want to take a hit right now. I would rather, I guess we could, because we are Assault Vest, and that's kind of what we're meant to be doing. Let's go for that. I'm interested to see how much this is going to do. Because remember, we do outspeed, so we can always U-turn or do something like that. I might even double out predicting that Ferrothorn. Psyshock, ooh, that's not good. What we're going to do now, though, is we're going to go for a U-turn here. Just so we can go out. If he does go out into the Ferrothorn, he doesn't. He goes out into the Garchomp. That's not too bad. He does have the Rocky Helmet, though, which I didn't anticipate. Let's see. We're going to have to go out into Washington here, because we can go for a Will-O-Wisp here. Even if he does go out into the Heatran, we can still Hydro Pump from there. But no, that was definitely quite unfortunate. I was thinking in the back of my mind that if that was Rocky Helmet, I thought the Ferrothorn was coming out, to be honest. If the Ferrothorn was Rocky Helmet, yeah, I would definitely be in a lot of trouble. But he does miss his Toxic, which is really good, because it means we can get that burn off there. And it means we can go out into the Scizor, because we can completely wall this guy. And he does set up his rocks this turn. I'm actually quite tempted to defog here, because we can Mega up and defog, or even just U-turn. Because I think he's going to go out into something else. Probably the Heatran. And that means we can go out into pillows because he's... no, he's not grounded. We need to remember that. I think we're going to U-turn here. Just to see, because I think rocks isn't too bad for the time being. I would rather get a little bit more initiative than lose it. And there's not much that this Garchomp really can do to us. We did Mega Up, didn't we? There you go. Just to make sure. But getting a burn on this Garchomp is going to be really, really useful. I know it's Tank Chomp, but still, it's a really, really, really hard hitter. So any damage on any sort of damage or restrictions on that will be absolutely excellent. He does decide to stay in, though, which means we are going to have to go out into pillows right here. So we do get the Intimidate drop as well, so that wouldn't be doing much. He does miss his Dragon Tail, though, which is going to be pretty big. We're going to go for we're going to go for an Earthquake here, because I think he's going to KO, even if he does end up going back out into the Latios. We have a few switch-ins for that, so that won't be too bad, I think. We can always go back out into the Scizor, and then we get a good U-turn off from there. I think that's probably the way to go. So he goes back out into the Latios here. We can go out into Rock Paper here. And that's definitely one of the stops to our Azumarill out the way, because the Psyshock really isn't going to be doing much. And I'm pretty comfortable with our special defense investments. We can take, apart from a Hidden Power Fire. Normally they don't run it, which is that's a bit of a pain, but there's not much we can really do about that. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go out into Landorus here and threaten him out with a U-turn. I think we might still have this. We just need to make sure, once that Ferrothorn's out the way, the Latios is starting to be worn down as well, to a point where Aqua Jet will be able to KO, which will be really useful. So he goes out into the Lopunny here, meaning we can go back out into, most likely, Washington here. Is the best bet. Yeah, we're going to go out into Washington, because we can go for that, go for a Volt Switch here. And it's a slow Volt Switch as well, which means we can go back out into pillows from there. So we're going to get a slow Volt Switch off here, as he does fake out. Not really doing a huge amount. We do still have our leftovers, so that's not going to be a problem. As a Volt Switch should do a pretty decent amount to whatever comes in. The Latios does come in, which is absolutely excellent. We have lost our Defogger though, which is going to be a pain. But I still think we might have this, because we can do all sorts of U-turn, Volt Turn shenanigans, because we can U-turn again. If he loses his Latios, that's one of his hardest hitters for our Azumarill, which he has just sacked off here, which means we can go out into probably Washington's our best bet, just because it walls the Manaphy, unless the Manaphy has got, I guess we still hit the Manaphy hard. The Manaphy might have the Energy Ball though. The Lopunny is now down to a range that definitely if we can belly drum up with the Azumarill, that's not going to be a problem. The Heatran shouldn't be a problem. It's now just making sure we can trap that Ferrothorn and KO that, and just get a bit of damage off on that Manaphy as well. And yeah, while it looks like we might be on the back foot, especially with the rocks, I think we've still got a chance with this battle. So he goes out into the Manaphy here. I think I kind of want to just double out into Stud, because I have a really, really big feeling that what's we call it? Energy Ball. That's it. Energy Ball is coming. So I'm really tempted to do that. Even if he Tail Glows, I can Volt Switch. I think that might be the play to make. But we do need to make sure we don't get too sort of, we don't throw around Stud too much. So Stud's in here, we can just go for another Volt Switch, and whether or not that will KO, I'm not too sure. We still can go back out into Rotom and just do some sort of double shenanigans, or even the Landorus, because I guess we do outspeed, so it depends what he's going to do. We'll play it by ear, and see from there. But as I said, once this Manaphy's out the way and Ferrothorn's out the way, we have a pretty good time with this team. So he does get onto the Ferrothorn here as we get the Volt Switch off, which is really, really good for him, because he's now able to do pretty much whatever he wants to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get out into Landorus, and while this sounds really weird, we're going to go for that U-turn, just to make sure, because if he stays in, then we can go out into Magnezone, and he won't be going for an EQ if he had an EQ or anything like that. And it means we can trap and kill that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to U-turn here. Get a crit, which is nice. So I think that does definitely pretty much guarantee a KO with Hidden Power Fire there. And he's going to be trapped. I and we will see from there. But I'm not too sure what he's going to go for. I guess Leech Seed could be an option, but we will have to see. But yeah, this is definitely a big stop. We have still got Pillows as well, which outspeeds the rest of his team, and EQ should do... Whether it will KO the Manaphy or not, I'm not too sure. The Manaphys are relatively bulky, but yeah. Once this Ferrothorn's out of the way, I think our problems are pretty much gone. I'm interested to see as well how much a Aqua Jet does to a Lopunny without the belly drum setup. We do need to also make sure to keep that Heatran alive, because that's probably our only real... the only way we can actually set up our belly drum. So, what we're going to have to do here is he's going to probably pack the Protect. Yeah, he does pack the Protect. I know we're going to lose quite a little bit of HP here, but I think it's worth it, because we need this Ferrothorn out the way, and this is literally Stud's main job here, is to just KO that. Hopefully, he does go for the spikes here. If he gets another, yeah, yeah, as I said, even if we go down here, we'll still bring him down to a range where we can easily revenge kill and KO him back. So, I'm not too worried. I'm surprised he's going for spikes as well, considering Azumarill is the only one that's affected by them. It will mean Stud might not be able to come back in. It depends what he decides to go for here. He may decide just to be greedy and take some, put some more spikes up and stuff like that. But no, I'm surprised how little that did. That was definitely a surprise to me. So he does go for the Protect again, as we're going to go for the Hidden Power. And lefties, yeah, I hate Ferrothorns. But we can go for a Hidden Power Fire here, and just literally whittle him down to a point where we can go in with anything else and KO him from there. He has got lefties as well, which we have to watch out for, because if Protect and lefties on there might bring him out of KO range of certain mons. But to be honest, I'm quite happy to go into Lando and just start EQing away, because we can KO the Lopunny. Only the Manaphy really can take a hit from us. So he's going to have to make a bit of a decision here. So we did 63% there, and 60% I think with the... How much did we do? 63%. Oh, we've only done one Hidden Power Fire, so we may even KO with a min-max. I don't know why he's choosing to make his mind up. He's got to just spikes, and his only choice is really spikes, and hope that he lives. Unless he wants to be cheeky and go for that double Protect. That might be what he's thinking about. He does go for that cheeky double Protect as a HP Fire doesn't KO. Okay, and he's going to be able to KO us this turn. I'm almost tempted to keep this for Death Fodder, because I know for a fact this guy's going to Protect, and it means he doesn't get any more HP. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I know he's going for the Protect here, and we can go for the EQ, drop his attack a little bit more, and I'm pretty confident we can KO with an Earthquake. I mean, it's stab. We got really good attack. I'll be surprised if this doesn't KO, and even then, there's not a huge amount he can really do to us. So we're going to go for another EQ here. It is neutral as well, and he's definitely specially defensive, considering how well he took that, and the physically defensive Garchomp there as well. Yeah, he's clean KO'd there. Which means his only real switch here is the Manaphy. I'm almost tempted to sack Stud, but... Well, we know Pillows is a win condition here. That's what we do know, because the Heatran and the Lopunny are both KO'd by Pillows. So it's almost worth just sacking off Stud here, because we can go out into Washington, or, yeah, we do get KO'd there, as he does go for the Scald. That was the right play to make, and we just need some prior damage off on that thing, and the only way we can really do that is by going out into Azumarill. Let's just see, which one takes it better? I guess Washington takes it better because we don't have spikes, and we can go for a Volt Switch, or even a Pain Split. I think that's what we've got to do. We've got to Pain Split at that point, because what we need to just get this Manaphy down to a point where we can come in with Lando, we can go for an Earthquake, KO the Manaphy, and have something in the wings just to take that fake out as well, just in case we might not take it. And once that fake out's done, I think we sweep. The only issue I have seen is that air balloon Heatran. Considering he's not brought it out yet, it's difficult to say. I don't think it is, personally. But if it has, that's definitely going to make life a little bit harder. But I'm baiting him to go for the energy ball here because I can get that pain split off and potentially live another one. It depends. He's only got base 100 special attack and it's non-stab, so I'm reasonably sure that we can take that. He may even switch out as well. We'll see. He's in a little bit of a predicament right now. But no, in terms of the team, I'm happy with it so far. Was a bit of a shame about Tornadus going down so quickly. But the rest of them, I'm not sure with Magnezone whether to go for Scarf or Specs. That's the only thing, because the Specs set has the advantage that we don't have to worry about all that sort of stuff with Ferrothorns and things like that, and we hit a lot harder. I'm almost tempted to change that to Specs. He does end up going for the Heatran here. We can get a Pain Split. He is an Air Balloon as well, so that's good to know. Because we can go for a... I'm almost tempted to just get damage off. Yeah, we're going to get some damage off on this guy. Because a Fire Blast really shouldn't do much. And a Hydro Pump nearly KOs. And we can go for... We don't particularly want to go for the Volt Switch because we've got spikes and stuff up. So we're going to go for a Hydro Pump here. He does miss his Fire Blast, which is absolutely huge because it means we're actually at a point where his Manaphy may not KO us now. And he's just sacked off his Heatran for nothing because we're now at a better position than we were when he sent it out. So he goes out into the Lopunny here. At this point, we know an EQ can KO. We just need to take that fake out damage. So I'm just going to stay in and I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. Because I think we might be able to live a hit. We'll see. Because he may think we're specially defensive this way. High Jump Kick, we do live a hit. And we get the burn as well. So I think we have a good chance of cleaning up from here now. Because we can go for a... High Jump Kick did that. So we can do... We're going to go for a Pain Split here. Be cheeky. I think that might be the way to go. Because then the combination of that will bring him down to about 28%. And then burn damage on top of that. And everything like that. Because I don't really want to risk a Hydro Pump killing. And also we still have Landorus as well. So I think that's the best bet. So he does go for the High Jump Kick here, leaving us at 2%. A Pain Split is going to bring him to a point where burn isn't going to kill him, but we're actually going to live another High Jump Kick, which is absolutely beautiful. So we can go for a Hydro Pump here. As a High Jump Kick doesn't KO. This is what I was saying about the Hydro Pump miss. So we're going to have to go for another one here, and we are going to go down at the same time. So the next question is, what order do we want to go into? Do we go into Chubs and assume we can take a hit? I think what we're going to do is we're going to calc it. So I'm just going to be one sec, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so a Energy Ball does about 56%. So we can go out into Chubs here, get a Play Rough off, and hopefully secure the win from here. Because we should be able to live a hit from this guy, unless he's like Specs or something. And a Play Rough. Yeah, we do live that. Please don't miss your Play Rough, Chubs. Come on, Chubs. Oh, that's awesome. So I'm pretty sure we just won this as well, because we can go for... I'm almost tempted to go for another Play Rough. No, we're going to get a little bit of extra damage off here. Because even if he does decide to Tail Glow, I think we might even 2-hit KO it. And, okay, that does a lot less than... And that does KO us anyway. Just to get that little bit of extra damage off, because we can go out into Pillows now and take our Rocks damage absolutely fine. And an EQ from here should be able to KO. Awesome. So that's the end of the match. So, yeah, so far, thoughts for the team. I'm tempted to change the Magnezone up for the Spec set. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it. Let me know, guys, what you think of the team so far. And any other suggestions on how to improve it. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle. And I will see you guys at the next one. Macadie out.